what I realized was that made your money buying and holding. So if you guys want to know how to become a millionaire in 5 years, shoot your questions below. But I'm going to go through this graph and I'm going to show you step by step because I want all of you guys to become millionaires. And guys, again, I'm not just telling you this. I'm telling you this because I've given this to people before. I actually interviewed some people the other day, my friend Jarius, and he is a millionaire. The other guy, Tyler, that I showed this is a multimillionaire. Me, myself, I'm buying over $100 million worth of real estate this year. I've done it. Started with single family homes just like you. Started with no money, no education, no rich family. I mean, just you guys can do it too. So I'm going back here, and here's what I want your brain to change a little bit, guys. So if we go back to 1970, I know that's a long time for some of you guys. The average median sales price was $23,000 for a house. Now, you fast forward to 1980, it was $64,000. You go to 1990, it was $121,000. You go to 2000, it was $165,000. You go to 2010, it was $229,000. It went up only about 30%, but you got to think we had a major recession. 2020, $346,000. So it went, just in the past 10 years, it went from 220 to, let me see, when is this? Quarter three of, let me see if I get quarter four, $346,000, guys. That's a lot of money. Now, do you think the people that owned them properties as they were going up in value had to work on them? Some of them did, some of them didn't. We built our property out to go to scale, and so we didn't. So here, get a pen and paper out, calculator. I want to show you exactly how to do this. A lot of you guys in the BRRR group know how to already BRRRR. Some of you guys don't know how to do that, and people on TikTok and YouTube, make sure you go watch my videos on YouTube, guys. So 5% appreciation a year on a $160,000 house. In 5 years, that house is going to be worth $204,000. So even if you bought it retail and didn't use the BRRRR method, which I don't recommend, the BRRRR method, you're at $160,000 is what you paid for it. Let's just do the math. You paid $160,000 for the property. The property's worth $204,000, so that's $44,000. Plus, you made another $400 a month in cash flow and principal reduction, so about $200 of each. So that's 400 times 60 months. That's another $24,000, right? That's $68,000 that you made over 60 months. In your sleep, you made, look at this, guys, $1,333 in your sleep, okay? That's every month. So let's divide that down by days. I want to know how much, let's say that's divided by, let's times that by 12, and then divide that by 365. So every day you wake up, you go to sleep, you're making $37. You're not even doing anything for this. Your property's working for it. This is how I created massive wealth, guys. I bought a lot of property. And now I own Hyatt hotels, Hilton hotels, Marriott hotels, 1,500 apartment doors. And I started off doing the BRRRR process. Look at this. So here, $37 a day. Now what I want you to do, I'm going to show you how to get 30 of these properties. Look at this. That's a day, guys. 30 of them. It's going to take you 5 years if you follow my plan step by step. And I'm going to tell you it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times when you want to quit. But I'm going to tell you this also, man. Listen, it is not easy being poor. It is not easy being rich, okay? But I would much rather be rich and have a hard time getting there, because once you get there, it's not that hard. And I'm talking about, like, once you break through that, okay, you got $10 million mark or $5 million mark, then it starts to become easier. But even when you become a millionaire, even when I became a millionaire after going bankrupt, guys, I didn't even know I was a millionaire till one day I did my paperwork, and I was putting all my paperwork together, and I called my partner. I said, man, we're worth $5.2 million a piece. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I mean, we didn't even know it. We were just doing the BRRR, and I was going in and updating all the property that we had bought. So we didn't really work for that. It just kind of, it just happened. Just like I'm saying right now, the average house in Q4 of 2020 is 346,000. And if we go back 20 years, it was 165. So even if you just kept that house and the tenant paid off and you didn't have any cash flow, you're up $160,000, $170,000, guys. That's how easy it is to make money in real estate. But my goal for you guys is to get you into commercial real estate. But in order to do that, I need you to get like $1.5 million, $2 million net worth. So here's the plan, guys. I want you to find properties in your area that are in an area that are appreciating at least 5% a year. I want you to use bestplaces.net to go on there and look at this area. I want to make sure that the jobs are growing close to what they're growing in the U.S. Or faster. And you can do that. I think it's called the housing, not the housing stat, the job stats. It's over on the left-hand corner of bestplaces.net. So you scroll down, you want to make sure you're in the right area. Because guys, if you get into an area where you're only getting a 1% a year return and inflation's 2 or 3%, you're not really making any money. So that is vital and key to you becoming a millionaire, is buying in that area that's getting 5% appreciation. How can you know which ones are going to get 5% appreciation? You simply watch the jobs. You want to look at the basic jobs coming to the area. And guys, I got plenty of videos on YouTube at Nate Barger that you can watch to find out what the basic jobs are. But once you get all this stuff working, guys, here's how it's going to work. You got a property, if you BRRRR it, that you're all in for $120,000. It's worth $160,000. You could flip it and clear $25,000. I'd prefer you don't do that. I'd prefer you hang on to it. It's worth $160,000. You're going to go refinance that. I'm going to show you and tell you in this video, if you stay here, how to put your construction company together so that you can do this without, the banks coming back and saying, oh, well, you're doing a cash out refi, or your rate and term is going to be higher because you're doing a cash out refi. So what we do ourselves in the big developers is we put together our own construction company. And it doesn't have to mean like I got a bunch of employees. It doesn't have to mean any of that. It just means that I know that a furnace is $8,000, a furnace, an 8-coil line set, but I know since I BRRRR in, I can get it done for $3,500. Mark it up to $6,000. Nobody's going to look at it twice. When you go do the draw, when you go back through the bank, you're going to show them that's what you had in there, right? And if you need an invoice, give them an invoice from your company that you own that did the work, okay? And then if you need a canceled check, make sure you write that company a check. Okay, so you want to make sure you have your paper trails. And you guys, if you guys got any questions, ask below. Because look, man, I want you guys to be wealthy. I want you guys to not just be wealthy, but teach this to your kids. Change your whole mindset. So Matt, let me just go. We'll get the questions in a minute. Okay.
All right. Cool.
So look, guys. What I want you to do is your first BRRRR. And guys on TikTok and YouTube, if you're not on there, you guys go follow me on TikTok or Instagram, whatever. Nate Barger. There's probably 100 of me because I'm not really famous, but I'm the only fat Nate Barger, so it should be easy to find. I'm just kidding, guys. So look, your first BRRRR, year one. Write this down, guys. It's a formula. This right here, you will be a millionaire if you follow this, especially right now. You know why? I was looking at the stats a minute ago, and right now, loans this year, the feds are projecting that they are going to still uptick for houses, that there's going to be more this year than last year. There's going to be less supply out here, and that right now, the all-time, we're at 14.9% is what people are spending percentage of their income for their loans. So historically, that number is 21%. So we're still way below that, which means people could borrow actually more money to buy houses with. So you're going to get your first house. I want you to be all in at $120,000. Guys, you already know you do the BRRRR. This thing is worth $160,000 when you're done. Now look, you can go flip it. After all your fees, you're going to walk away with $25,000. Okay, $25,000. Let's say you do 2 your first year, okay? Let's say you do 4 your second year. 6 your third year, 8 your fourth year, and 10 your final year. And trust me, that seems like a lot, but once you do your first one and you get it down, you need to go watch my videos about what kind of construction makeup and what years to buy too, because that'll save you a lot of time and money and effort. So right there, guys, if you do 30 of them and you flip them, you'll make $750,000 over 5 years. But you're still broke. You need a job. You still need to go do another one. After you pay taxes, 30%, that's a 30% of 750,000 is 225,000 off 750. That leaves you with $525,000. That's not enough money to do anything with, guys. That's over 5 years. You probably spent that just living and surviving. So watch this here. This is where the magic comes in, guys. Get your pen and paper out, please, man. I'm telling you, I've showed this formula to a lot of people, and a lot of them are millionaires. Everybody who follows is millionaires 5 years later. So look, guys. If we take, and I'm going to show you guys these formulas. I'm going to do it on a calculator for you. That house was worth $160,000. Okay? This is what it was worth. Okay, it's backwards, guys. Sorry. Okay. So here, maybe I'll turn it upside down. Whatever. Okay, so that house was worth $160 grand. What'd you say, Matt? I can show the main camera? Oh. The main camera, everybody else is going to be backwards. House is worth $160,000. If you follow what we do on a construction side, you're going to be able to go pull out 80% of that. That's $128,000. You got $128,000 cash out. You got $2,000 in closing costs. So you're walking away with $126,000. You pay off your first position mortgage. You're walking away with $6,000 cash. You're going to walk away with $6,000 times, remember, guys, you did 30 of these. That's $180,000 cash. You don't have to pay any taxes on that. Why? Because it's a loan. One of the greatest parts of real estate is you don't have to pay any taxes. If you take the property and it's worth $160,000, you're going to look for these areas that you get at least 5% appreciation on, which right now, especially in the Midwest, I can't even find an area with less than 7% appreciation. Like, I mean, honestly, man, most of them are 12, 14. Cincinnati's a very hot market, but I've looked all over the country, and I can't hardly find any major city that has less than 5 or 6 or 7%. Jacksonville's hot, Tampa, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Louisville. I mean, every city I look at is super hot, guys. So you take 160,000 times 1.05. Turn this to the power of 5. That house is worth $204,205. So it's worth $204,205. Year 5, guys. Now, you borrowed $128,000, but with your principal reduction, and we're assuming a 30-year AM mortgage with a 4% rate, we're figuring that you can get that'll be down $115,000 is all you owe. So the spread on that, I think I know what it is, but you got $89,000, guys. All right, look, man, this is too simple to do. Even if you don't want to push that hard and do 15 of them, you'll still be a million. Okay, so hold on, guys. And any problems or everything that I'm telling you guys, yes, there are going to be problems, but I've been through and I've done enough of this. And look, man, my goal is to show you guys what I know how to do for free. So if you message me, I will put a video together if there's enough of you guys and show you all the challenges, all the hurdles that I had to overcome. So you got 89,000 times 30. $89,000 of property times 30, that's $2.6 million. You're a millionaire. You're a multi-millionaire in 5 years, guys. Plus you had $180,000 cash out. Plus your cash flow was about $200 a unit times, let's say 30 units a month. Now you got $6,000 a month in cash flow times, let's say 5 years you hold these. That's that's $200 a month times 12 months. That's $2,400 a year times 30 properties times 5 years. That's another 530 times 200, 6,000 times 60. That's another $360,000, guys. Right there, you got, some of you guys are working way too hard to make your money, man. So if you follow these simple steps, step by step, man, you can be a millionaire in 5 years. And any hurdles that you got that you want to overcome that you're thinking about, man, let me know your questions below, and I'll make sure to answer them. Matt, what are you looking for, buddy?
I'm just checking everything.
All right, Matt. Can you? Anybody got questions? Questions below. Okay, guys, what are your questions, man? What are your challenges psychologically? I want to know. I started off very poor, went to prison. I got over 1,500 apartment units, Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott hotels, over $100 million worth of real estate, guys. And this year we're going to buy $500 million or more worth of real estate. And I'm going to do all this with no education, coming from a poor family. And yes, it was hard as hell to get here. I'm not going to lie to you, man. It was, but man, was it worth it. My kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, it set this stuff up right, man. They don't have to worry about money. And guys, I don't want to fool you and make you think that money's everything, because it's not, man. It doesn't make you happy. I've been poor and I've been happy, and I've been rich and I've been sad. So I think our Facebook just cut out, Matt.
No, I'm watching. It's good.
Okay. You sure?
Yep, I'm watching.
Well, cut off on the screen over here. It's rebooting up top.
Up, yep, it's gone.
Okay, so can we go back on there?
Yep.
Okay.
But you're live still on your Facebook page.
Okay, so you want to come back over here and try to get us back live on that?
Yeah, I'll get us live on there.
Okay, can you do that from where you're at? Okay, I don't know why it cut out. All right, guys, so questions. Let me go through here, guys. How do I find the step-by-step to this? I just gave it to you, man. I just told you exactly how I made tens of millions of dollars, man, step-by-step. Again, guys, I'll go through this again because I want you guys to really get this, okay? Sorry, guys, we cut out there for a minute. Are we live back on both of them, Matt?
Yeah, you should. That's the only one that cut out, right?
I mean, I don't know. Sorry, guys, we cut out on our Facebook feed, on TikTok, we're still there. Guys, so look, all it is owning properties. I'm going back and I'm looking at historical data. From 1970, the median house was 24 grand. Now, yeah, that was 50 years ago, but look at this. Fast forward 50 years, it's 350 grand. So look at that. Even if you just owned a bunch of property back there, man, you made $300,000 off each property. But with today, we're in a crazy inflation going on. You can make so much more than back then off the properties. So how do I find this step by step? Go on my YouTube channel. Replay this video if you can. The link is up in the bio. And guys, ask questions because I'm here for you guys, man. My time, I'm here for you guys. And I want to show you guys. I don't want you to struggle through all the psychological crap that I had to go through. So let me see what questions you got. Matt, you got any questions over there, or do they all get erased off?
No, I still have them.
All right. Guys, so on TikTok, Facebook, where else? Are we live on YouTube too?
We're on YouTube too.
Guys, ask any questions you got, man, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But look, guys, again, you don't get wealthy flipping properties. You get wealthy owning properties. And I can tell you right now that we're about to go through unprecedented inflation. Right now, if the government can create 6% inflation a year for 4 years in a row, it can wipe out 20% of the federal deficit. So what does inflation mean if you own properties? It means that you're going to get wealthy in your sleep. Guys, the formula I just gave you, my friend came, he did it. He started his first property November of 2015. He has $3.6 million in properties today, and he owes $2 million on them. So it's a $1.6 million net worth, and his properties are in an area that are growing by 14% a year, which means that in his sleep every night, he's making $1,400. Every day he goes to sleep and wake up, his net worth is growing that much. Plus he has cash flow coming in and principal reduction. So it's called BRRRR, the BRRRR method, which is buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. Do it over and over and over again. And any challenges that you got, along the way, I've been through it. Trust me, and I can help you out with it. So let me know what questions you guys got.
All right. Are you using asset-based lenders? I've done 7 burrs. I'm having a hard time with the lender on the 8th.
You know why? Because you got 7 of them. So what happens, you're dealing with residential lenders. When you're dealing with residential lenders, man, they're always hard. They don't understand anything. They want you to have a W-2. They want you to just give them a W-2 and know that your job's going to pay them. They're like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. That scares the hell out of them. So what you got to do, brother, you got to take your 7 properties and you're going to put these 7 properties into a blanket mortgage. You're going to go find a local bank wherever you're at. You're going to call them and say, hey, listen, man, here's my plan. I got 7 properties. I got a track record. I got XYZ cash flow coming in. You need to show them on paper how they're going to get paid back and why you are a good person to risk money on. Think about it. If somebody came to you, you would say, hey, man, why should I give you money? You say, here's why you should give me money, because I'm going to bring all my accounts over to your bank. I want to work with you. I'm going to help grow this bank for you. The bank's a business. But if you can convince them that, hey, I'm going to come and help you grow your business, right? Now the bank may start dealing with you. And if not, so what, guys? The last recession, 2009, man, I promise you, I could not get a bank to loan me no money. I called for 2 days. I wrote them all down. I called 125 banks. The 126th bank I called got the loan done, man. They wanted it. That was First Financial. I still remember the loan guy's name and everything, man. But that's the type of determination it takes. I read this thing about what Elon Musk said the other day. He said somebody on Clubhouse said, "Hey, Elon Musk, what kind of words of encouragement could you give an entrepreneur?" And Elon Musk said, "If you need a word of encouragement, don't be an entrepreneur." So I'm not saying that, man. That's Elon Musk, because we all need words of encouragement from time to time. But what Elon was saying is that you got to be so dedicated to getting done what you want to get done that you can't care about somebody telling you that you can't get it done. When they tell you you can't get this loan done, hey, that's their opinion. Move on to the next bank. But remember, it's all about creating a win-win relationship. So when you come into this bank, you're not talking to this bank saying, hey, I want to get a loan done. See, now you're coming from a position of weakness. You come in and say, hey, what are your goals for the bank, right? So I did it yesterday. I was on the phone. I said, hey, man, I'm trying to get $4 or $5 million out of this bank. I said, hey, what are your guys' goal? Well, we're looking for people to lend to. Okay, what about deposits? Yeah, we also are looking for deposits. Okay, let me ask you this, man. I think it's a $4 million loan. We got to bring they're going to give us a little over $3 million on it. So he said, hey, if I could get 10% deposits, which would mean bring over $300,000 in deposits. So if he's giving you $100,000, 10% of that's $10,000. If you can bring over your deposits on your 7 properties and your cash flow from that account, then you tell the bank, I'll bring this over to you and I'll grow with you guys. You bundle them 7 properties together in one mortgage. It'll be a commercial mortgage. You do a cash out refi. You tell them and you show them a plan on what you're going to do with that money. I'm not going to take this money and go buy jet skis. I'm not going to take it and go do something wild and go buy a car on Turo. I'm going to do what I know how to do. You show the bank. Banks are conservative. I'm going to go buy more properties and I'm going to bring in more income to your bank and I'm going to help you grow your bank. So think win-win, guys. And that's what you got to do with them 7 properties, and you can scale and grow. Thank you, JR. Okay, what else we got, Matt?
All right.
Any questions, guys? Drop them below. Link is in the bio. Go watch my YouTube, my TikTok. Matt got me over here trying to do goofy stuff, fall through the ice. I ain't even falling for that. But any questions you guys got, man, shoot below. This video is about how to become a millionaire and retire in 5 years. I've been telling you guys I'm going to share my secrets with you, my struggles, going through bankruptcy, learning the hard way, not having a mentor, not having somebody like Nate Barger to show me exactly the do's and the don't. So what we got, Matt?
So are these 30 properties multifamily or single-family homes or a mix?
They can be a mix, but I'm just telling you do single-family homes. If you do multifamilies, you'll do a little bit better. But look, it only takes 30 properties to do this. And guys, I'm finishing out a 30-unit property right now that when I get done, I'm going to be able to go do a cash out, BRRRR, and pull $2 million in cash out, man. $2 million. That's $2 million out of one deal. and the deal's still going to have $6,600 a month in positive cash flow and $8,500 a month in principal reduction. And year 5, with my projected rent escalations, I'll be able to get a new value and get another $1.7 million cash out. One deal you can retire on. But I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But first, I need you to do these 30 single-family homes.
All right. We got someone asking, what's the best way to start from scratch?
Hold on, JR. Why is flipping not your option? Because I like money. If you like money, don't sell off your assets. Hang on to them. Because, see, when people want to do flipping, that's to me when I hear like, hey, I want a job. Because, see, you're doing all the work and you're going to take and flip this property. You're going to get one piece of money one time, right? Then you're going to pay taxes on it. But if you buy and hold a property, guys, let's do some quick math real quick, okay? So let's say you accumulated $500,000 worth of property. Let's just use $500,000 over the next 3-4 years, okay? And let's say you're going to get a 5% return on that. So that's 500,000 times 1.05, and then we're going to take that to the power of 10. Those properties are worth $814,000 in 10 years if I can get in an area that has 5% appreciation. So I just made $314,000 in my sleep. The tenants were paying my mortgage off. The tenants were paying a mortgage off, plus I had positive cash flow. I don't get any of them benefits if I sell off my property all the time. It's not any fun selling off your assets, going out, getting another job. So hope that answered your question on how to purchase my first apartment. Amira McCrae, I got you. Matt, what's the next question?
All right. We're getting this question a lot. A lot of people are inboxing you and putting it in the comments. I want to learn from you. How do I do that?
Okay, how do you do what?
How do I learn from you? Can
you
mentor
watch my
me?
YouTube videos. When I jump on here, ask any questions. See, if you watch my YouTube videos, it's almost like me giving you a map to the gold. So I'm going to do a video on it, and it's going to be a map and tell you exactly where to go to get the gold and exactly the skill set you need. You know what skill set you need? You just need to listen and learn. You don't need a Harvard education. You don't need any of that, man. You just need to be willing to go out and do it. And you, too, can become a millionaire by 2025. So go on my YouTube channel, Nate Barger. Watch the videos. It's going to show you step-by-step how to become a millionaire. Jump on here. Ask me any questions. Anytime you get a hiccup, and you will hit them, it's okay. Reach out to us. We got a BRRRR Invest group that has over 45,000 followers we're going to hit this week. So jump on our page. There's a lot of experienced people in there that are just great, and they'll give you the data for free. People who have made a lot of money truly just want to give back and help other people, because 90% of millionaires were made through real estate, and 78% of millionaires in the United States are Generation 1, which means they did not inherit it. They worked very hard for it too. So they know the struggles that you guys are going through, and they want to help you out. So what's the next question, brother?
All right. Should I put each house into an individual LLC or under an umbrella?
Yeah, I would do an umbrella because, we typically do about every $1 million worth of property we put under a separate LLC. But again, I'm not a CPA or an accountant. I can tell you what we do, because you're going to have to file tax returns on each one of them, and that's like $350 a piece. So if you do one for each property, it's too much. And then you got to pay $350 for the tax return. You may have to renew the LLC every year, depending on what state you're in. So we do it for every $1 million worth of property. Or let's say we're doing a big property for $20 million. We'll just do an LLC for that one. But we always have an LLC, and then we have our shares to that LLC are owned by another LLC that is a dual member LLC. And that sets you up best to protect you from tax purposes in the state of Ohio, in Delaware, in Nevada, in places where we set up LLCs for ownership, because the only course of action, at least the last time I looked, was for what's called a charging order, which means the only thing that they can come and do is get distributions. They don't have voting rights. I know that's kind of complicated, but to answer your question, You don't need one for every, $50 or $100, $200,000 house. Put them all into one bundle. They're a company. They're a LLC. Go get a mortgage on them. It probably won't even show up on your credit report. And then you got all this income showing up on your tax returns. You got to learn how to get loans done. A lot of times with banks, that can be very hard. So you have to go in to the banks and you have to know how to do your taxes and show them where your money is, because a lot of times on paper, when you do real estate, it looks like you're losing money.
All right, awesome. Do you put your paid off houses in a trust?
I would never have a paid off house, because why would I have money sitting over there dead? That money's dead. I need that money to go to work every day, because if that money's not going to work every day, then I got to get up and go to work every day. And here's why, guys. Let me break down some numbers for you. You know what? Matter of fact, I want some people to comment below. What is a good return? What do you guys think is a good return on your capital? And I'm going to tell you why I don't want dead money in my properties. We're going to come back to that question. You guys comment below. Let me know what a good return is, and I'm going to show you. Some of you guys may be right, but I'm going to show you what kind of return. And I ain't talking about Bitcoin, because you know that stuff, you might lose it all tomorrow. And that's real. It already happened. It blew up before. It could blow up again. The stock market. I'm talking about, man. Oh man, I want to come and grab this. I feel it. It's my real estate. What's the next question? We're gonna come back to that.
All right, Nate. Have you done or thought about doing a lease option in your BRRRR properties? Line up a tenant buyer with a down payment and set the lease option term before the balloon payment is due.
Yeah, but look, man, the property's gonna go up in value. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, you're going to get that to the tenant. You don't want to do that. Now, we used to do that back in the days. I'm going to tell you about one I did. And I'm going to tell you, man, this is probably one of the best. Okay, so I got a property for, the property was, it was a 4-bedroom in Bond Hill, which is a really hot market right now. But back about 2011, matter of fact, the guy's still paying me on it. 2011, 2012, we got this property for $10,000, I think. I'm going to go pull it back up. The back taxes owed on it were $6,000, so we only had to bring $4,000 at closing. Well, I found a guy to do a lease option on the property for $39,000, right? So I had him give me $5,000 down. Me and my partner Mike did. So he gave us $5,000 down. So we walked away from closing with $1,000 and a $34,000 mortgage on a house. We had nothing else in. So I would do them back in the days, but as quick as the market's moving now, man, that house today is probably worth $180,000. Man, I feel like a fool for selling that house. I should have just bought it, fixed it up myself, and hung on to it, and I would have made way more money. So I do not recommend giving somebody property in a time where we're about to go through massive inflation. The feds need inflation right now, guys. I would not give away my assets. Matter of fact, I went and bought a Lamborghini. I went and bought a bunch of cars. I went and bought, because I own so much real estate. Man, I don't want to have a lot of cash, man. If I'm sitting on too much cash, I get kind of like weird, because the cash isn't doing anything. I want assets that are going to go up in value. So, do we have any comments below about what you guys think a good return is?
Yeah, we got 15 to 20%, 20%, 15 to 20%, half, 10%.
All right, good. Good, guys. So listen, you guys think 10 and 15% is a good return. Look, man, I'm about to show you that return sucks. And this is why you don't want to leave your money dead. Just hanging out in the property is dead. You're leaving money in there dead. So whoever said that, you got all your money in these properties. You want to put them in a trust because you were taught by Dave Ramsey or whoever that you don't want debt. Yes, you do. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Bad debt is going buying a brand new Bentley and paying mortgage on it, or paying a payment $3,000-$4,000 a month. That's bad debt. It's going down in value. Good debt is going and getting a property. Hey, this iPad went out again. Yeah, it keeps turning up top. I think you got too much stuff on it. So, you're live on your Facebook. Keep going. Okay. So, can we merge that into both of them, or we can't? Okay. So guys, look, if you get in to really understanding returns, you're going to have property, let's say, that makes a 7% return. So you're going to pay, let's say, $150,000 for this property, okay? Now look, 7% of $150,000 is $10,500, okay? You're going to put 20% down, which is 30 grand. So you got 30,000 is what we're basing our estimate. Can I get back live on this one over here again in the BRRR group? We are? Okay. Are you getting it on the iPad? Okay. All right. So where was that question? That was from, hey guys, sorry, we just had one of our coming in some change within the next 30 days, 150 to 200K. What would you invest? I'm going to show you right here. So, we're having some difficulties, guys. We just dropped one of our channels. We had a bunch of people on there. So guys, I'm going to show you what kind of returns you should get and how you're going to get them. There was a question in the group, and most people thought 10 to 20% was a good return. So let's look at the 160,000 actually. If you guys got a pen and paper, write this down. $160,000. You're going to need $32,000 when you go to the bank. The bank's going to say, okay, we want you to put 20% down. So you're going to get a loan for $128,000. In 5 years, you're only going to owe $115,000 on that. Okay. And the property is going to be worth $204,000. Okay. So here's where I want to break it down. $32,000. You're getting a 7% return. Let me do the math real quick, guys. You guys got a pen and paper? I see some yeses, some nos. Okay, 160,000 times 0.0, 7% return. That's $11,200 a year is what this property is going to bring me in. I still got to pay the bank, right? So let's say I got to pay the bank 3.5%, but I'm only paying the bank 3.5% on the 80% I borrow, which is 128,000 times 0.0. Let's just say 4%. That's 5,120, okay? So we got 11,200 minus 5,120, which is $6,080. Divide that by the 30,000. That's going to give you a 20.2% return. But wait, the property is going up 5% a year, right? So the property is going up, let's say 160,000. The property over 5 years is going to go from 160,000 to $204,000. Okay, so we're going to take 204,000. That's at a 5% return minus your 160,000. That's 44,000 in equity plus your principal reduction. Well, we didn't put no principal reduction. We didn't. That's another $44,000. So you got 6,080 times 5 years times 5, which is 30,400. Plus you made 44,000 in appreciation. Add them two together, that's 30,400. That gives you $60,800, guys. Now, divide that by the 32,000. Okay? That gives you 190% return. Divide that by 5 years. That's a 38% yearly return on your money. Guys, this is a lot of money. You guys were thinking 5 and 10 and 15, 38%, because you're not just making money off your cash flow, you're also making money off appreciation, which is the most important thing. Let me break that down to you a little bit more. If you had $100,000 and you had to put you had $100,000 property, you had to put 20% down. That means you put down 20 grand, but the property is going up 5% a year. You're not getting 5% of the appreciation on your 20 grand. You're getting 5% on the whole 100,000. So the $100,000 goes up 5%, which is 5,000. So if you take 20,000, divide that by 5, that's 25%. You're getting 25% appreciation on your money a year. Plus, you're getting another 20% cash on cash. You're getting 45% a year on your money. That's how you get wealthy, especially doing a BRRRR method, because you're able to go back in there and you're able to wait a couple years, 3-4 years, and add value and pull your money back out. So, guys, what are your next questions? And Matt, are we live on the BRRRR group yet?
Yep, we've been live.
All right. Hey, guys, sorry about that, man. We keep dropping you. We got you on a... Now, we're not on an iPad no more, are we?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about that no more.
Nope.
What's the next question, guys?
When will the housing prices stop growing at such a rapid rate? Can't buy a 4-bedroom house in my area for under $200K, and it's hard to rent and make good cash flow every month.
Well, according to the charts I'm looking at, guys, man, I'm looking at this chart from 1973. I mean, the chart is upwards, man. Construction costs always go up every quarter. We're about to go through major inflation right now. I was just looking at a chart and a graph. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys here. And what this chart and graph said was that what it said to me was conflicting from what another chart said. And I'm going to see if I can pull this up here. U.S. National Home Price Index. Look at this. I only want to show you that. This is the, look at this. Homes for sale, guys. This is from 2017. Can you guys see that? Can you see that, Matt? Okay, so look. You can't? Can you see it there? Okay. So anyways, guys, I can't see that. But right now we have, in 2017, we had 47,600 homes for sale. Right now we're at about 33,000 homes for sale. We're at an all-time low on inventory. But here was the statistic to me, the historic normal percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment decreasing dramatically as mortgage rates fall. The historic norm was 21.2%. You guys see that backwards, even though you can see it backwards? Right now, so 21% of people's income was needed to get a mortgage. Right now, it's at 14.9%. So what that tells me, the government is going to have to keep rates low, guys. And here's why. The government needs inflation. When they come in and they push rates up, they do that because they are trying to slow the economy down. Right now, the government needs inflation because the only way we get out of debt is through inflation, guys. If we can create 6% inflation, which means house prices are going to continue to go up, and we hold interest rates low, that means we can borrow money as a government at 1%, and then we got 6% inflation, which means every year we're wiping away 5% of what we borrowed. I know it's going to take you some time to wrap your brain around that, but I'm going to do a video on it. What that means is that if you can get 6% inflation 4 years in a row, that's about 27% compounded on each other. You can, and then if you can hold the borrowing rate down at 1%, that's about 4.8%. So you have 22% of the federal deficit that you can wipe out in 4 years through inflation. So right now the government needs inflation, and they've already come out and announced that they're going to push for inflation, guys. So that's why I want you to own real estate. And I think if you're sitting back waiting for a deal to happen, man, you got to track the inventory. And right now what it's telling me is people can afford to buy more houses or pay more for houses, and that there is very slim inventory. So I would not sit there and wait on the prices to come down. I would just make sure I'm buying something and getting a good buy. And if you can't find a house traditionally, hey, man, go out here, put a bandit sign out, knock on doors in neighborhoods you want to be in. Ask the people. Look at expired listings from 3 years ago. Go out and be creative and figure out a way to find what you need to create massive wealth. Because that's what every entrepreneur out here has done, is they take the problem, they grab onto it, and they figure out a solution. Guys, right. What's your next question, man?
Real quick, we cut out when we were answering his question. What product are you using to refi? Asset-based? I've done 7 burrs. Having trouble with my 8th.
I mean, we're doing bigger loans, man. So I'm doing all like Fannie and Freddie. But back when I was doing loans, I would go to a local bank and package all 7 of them together. And let's say they're worth 150,000 a piece. I go to the bank and say, hey, I want to put all these under an umbrella as one LLC, as one entity. I'm going to borrow 950,000 as the value. I'm going to borrow 800,000 out of that. I want to do a cash out refi. And they're going to say, well, how are you going to pay us? You say, well, I'm going to pay you because look at the cash flow. I got 7 properties that bring in $1,200 a month. That's $8,400. And after all my fees and everything, I got $6,000 or $5,500 a month coming in. And I want to borrow $800,000 from you at 4%. That's $32,000 a year. So $32,000, and I got $60,000 coming in. That's about a 1.7 debt service coverage ratio. Of course, you got to add back in principal reduction, but you should be good on your DSCR, which is your debt service coverage ratio. Banks want to see a 1.25, but go in and sell them that you are their guy. Say, hey, look, man, I want to do business with you. Okay, I want to help you grow your bank. At the same time, I'm going to grow my company. I'm going to bring my accounts over here. I want to create a win-win with you. I want you guys to see the big picture. The big picture is I'm at 7 houses right now, but I want to start buying 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 unit multifamilies. And if you establish a relationship with me right now, I'm going to have hundreds of thousands in this account, right? That's what they want to hear. So if that's your plan, go in and show it to them. Put a good plan together and go and show them. And if you need help formulating a plan, reach out to us, man. We're going to, on TikTok, if you go in there, we got a video if you like. And then if you're, what's it called? Not like, Mike, but if you double tap the screen on the video and you leave a comment and you, is it called subscribe or follow. If you follow us, then we're gonna pick somebody, maybe a few people to come in and show them, put them a financial plan together. We're gonna look at the area that they're in. We're gonna show them how to become wealthy, and then we're gonna follow them every month. We're gonna follow what they're doing and make sure that they're following through with that plan.
All right. I have a property I bought for $17,000 and renovated. Total $50K. I'm getting $600 a month cash flow. Should I get a cash out refinance or stay conservative and find other deals like this?
You getting $600 a month in rent, or what's your rent? Because if you got $50,000 in it and you're only getting $600, that deal's tight. That deal don't work. I ain't saying that it don't work.
Well, it says cash flow, so.
Okay, well, if he has pure cash flow, go borrow all the money you can out of it. If they're going to give you money at 4%, I just showed you how to go make 40% on your money. If they're going to let you borrow the money at 4%, $50,000, let's say you go borrow $100,000 at 4%, guys. Look at this, man. It's simple math.
Yeah, it's free cash flow.
Okay, you go borrow $100,000 at 4%, right? That's $4,000 a year. Now you're going to pull that $100,000 out and you're going to go make 40% a year on that. That's $40,000. So you're adding an additional $36,000 a year to your net worth. This is going to be from principal reduction, cash flow, and appreciation. So even if you can only hit 35% a year, but you should be able to hit 35 to 40 if you're leveraging these things out and if you're buying them in the right areas. That's how you create wealth. Dead money in your property doesn't do anything. It just sits there. I want your money to be like this, man. Like, you put your money together and you make it go back out there and find more money and capture it and bring it back. And then you just do the same thing over and over. If you know how to do the BRRRR method, the one thing that most people don't know how to do is get 15 to 20% cash on cash. But what they don't understand is that you're also getting the appreciation. So if you're putting up 1/5 of the money to buy the property, which is 20%, the bank's putting up 4/5, 20, 40, 60, 80. That's 100. And let's say a $100,000 property is going up 5% a year. That's $5,000. Well, you only got 20 grand in it. So if you take 20,000, divide that by 5,000, you're getting 25% appreciation a year on your money. And you got that money just sitting in your deal right now. It's dead. Go out there, redeploy it. You've already proven that you know how to do the BRRRR method. You know how to manage, scale. Once you get like where you can do a $500,000 cash out, reach out to me. I'm going to show you how to go buy commercial property and make even more money.
All right. Do you ever recommend buying on market rental with 15% down payment?
A market rental?
That's what it says.
I mean, if the numbers work. 15% is a very low percentage down. Most banks want 20 to 25. So, I mean, hey, man, it's all numbers, man. What's your cash on cash return? How much principal reduction? What area is it in? Guys, bestplaces.net is it's a free app. We use CoStar, but CoStar is about $6,000 a year just for our little area. But bestplaces.net, you can go into that and you can kind of figure out the area. You want to be in an area where it has good job growth at. Because if there's no job growth and the jobs are leaving, then people are going to leave, and then the prices of the house are going to come down. So make sure you're in an area that has good job growth. But that's all in the numbers, man. I mean, if you can get 15% down, it just does your cash flow work on it.
So the appreciation return is what matters most.
Absolutely, man. Here, let me ask you this. So if you could have bought, like, let's say the Empire State Building back in 30 years ago? 25 years ago would have been
94, 95.
God, I'm getting old. 95 was 25 years ago. Okay, 1995. You could have bought the Empire State Building, right? The Empire State Building back then was probably, let's say, $100 million, right? Well, now the Empire State Building is worth $1 billion, okay? But you bought it 25 years ago. You had a 25-year loan on it, and you bought it in 96. That would have been 25 years. You owe zero on it. It's worth $1 billion. You made a little cash flow in between, but the main way you made your money was that thing went from $100 million to $1 billion asset, right? Now, let's look at this. Now, maybe that's abnormal. So I'm going to go back to 1996. I got the chart here. Q1 of 1996, a house was worth $137,000 was the median sales price of houses sold in the United States. $137,000, guys. Fast forward today. This is Q4 of 2020, $346,000, man. See that? You made a lot. How much was that again? 137. Look at that. 346. Let's do the math. 147, 346. 346,000 minus 147,000. You made $199,000 plus you got cash flow plus the tenant paid it off. Buying and holding assets is how everybody gets rich, man. If you look at any billionaire, matter of fact, I was just down in Tampa on Water Street down there, and they got a new JW Marriott that opened December 21st, and we stayed in it. I think I was in there like December 28th, man. We were like some of the first people in it. And I start looking at this development, and it was a $3 billion development on Water Street. Guess who funded the development, Matt? Bill Gates.
Oh,
so
yeah?
even very wealthy people, Bill Gates and the guy who owned the Tampa hockey team, they were the ones who put the $3 billion stack together, man. So even very, very wealthy people, they all own real estate, guys, because it's very advantageous for taxes. It goes up in value, and you have cash flow coming in.
Is there any questions on TikTok? We have no more over here.
Guys, let's come over here to TikTok, man. You guys got any questions here? You guys, any questions you got? How do you find houses to buy with such low inventory? You got to be creative, man. You got to go out here and make it happen. You got to go out here. You got to knock on doors. You got to, my buddy Kenny Russian down in Florida, you can reach out to him. He can tell you how to go out and scout houses. But you can't get them on the MLS. How do you find houses to buy with such low inventory? I love your videos. Thanks. Hey, thank you guys, man. I'm here for you guys, man. I don't want to see you guys struggle, make the same mistakes, beat your head up against the wall like I did. I want to help you and give you a clear goal on what you're trying to obtain. What do you recommend on a first deal? Single family's good. Do a single family rehab, light rehab, Val Rossi. Do a light rehab. That's what I would recommend, guys. Any other questions over there in the BRRR group?
I live in South Florida. I'm thinking about buying out of state. Any suggestions?
Man, that's hard, brother. I mean, if you're buying a single family home, that's going to be very hard to manage. If you're buying institutional 200-300 units, that's okay. But I would buy local. I would go down to Homestead if you're in South Florida. There's still some values down there that you can get and rent out. I would maybe even consider, if I'm in South Florida, Airbnb in a property, because you can make a lot of money doing that. Hardvino, are you still live with us, brother? Coming in with some 30,000, 150 to 200K. Hey, man, get on our BRRRR Invest site on Facebook. We got about 40-something thousand great people on there. I'm telling you, man, I think it's the best. What, baby? Hold on, my daughter's in here. What you want, baby? You got a snow day. Come and say hi to everybody. Come and say hi, champion. Look at this girl. She ain't did nothing all day. Say hi. Hi, don't be shy. Hey, would you go give me a sparkling water? Thank you. Come on, baby. All right, so any other questions, guys? Hold on, I got some more over here. How do you start from day one with nothing? Let's go. Day one. Okay, so day one, what you got to do, man, is you got to come up with the down payment, okay? And I'm going to tell you guys this, man. I'm going to even go a little bit harder than day one, okay? I'm going to go back to 2010. I was bankrupt, Chapter 7 bankrupt. And I found a way to still go out and buy millions of dollars worth of property. Now, I knew if I'd have went to the bank, man, they probably would have called security on me. But what I was able to do was able to use my skill sets that I had at the time, which was I was really good in construction, guys. And so what I did was went and found some people to partner with. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. I found some people to, hi, honey. I found some people to partner with that had good credit, that had money, but you can't start day one and not have anything. Go get a deal. Go put the deal together and go partner with somebody and say, okay, listen, man, I want to bring this deal. And I just want, they might say, well, we'll pay your finder's fee. Say, look, man, I don't want no finder's fee, okay? Instead of flipping a property, tell them I want equity, okay? I don't want to sign for debt, but I want to watch how the whole process goes. I'm not going to get in your way, but I want to see how you guys do everything, okay? Go in and get with some people in your area that want you to learn, because most people in real estate, man, they didn't start off rich. They got rich, and most of them don't mind giving back, which is why I'm here today, man. So you got to understand what your strengths are, what you're good at, and how you can help people out. So, guys, let's see what the new messages are here. You got any messages over there, brother?
None over here, just saying that how beautiful she is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she looks just like her dad. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. God, give me some flat water. London.
Oh, we got more coming in now over here. I have four rentals, single family in South Florida. My current job, I make around 20 to 30K per month. Looking to scale up and retire in 10 years. Looking to get in the multifamily homes. Start with the 20 unit. Or what is your recommendation would be? I have around $150,000 cash right now.
So to get into multifamily, you're going to probably need, especially in South Florida, I don't know what you're looking at down there, but $150,000 down, you're going to need a little bit more. I would take all your rental properties and I would bundle them together and I would go leverage them and I would get the money out of them. You make good income, 20, 30,000, but first thing I want to do is work on your income and getting you over to a real estate professional so that you're not paying taxes on your income. Yes, you can do that, guys, if you're scaling and doing it right in real estate, and that becomes your primary source of income. So, man, that's a very difficult question to answer, and I want to be honest with you. I don't want to just make something up. Why don't you reach out to us on, where should he reach out? And I'll put it together for you, brother, and we'll share it with people. I don't have to share them your information, your face, or anything you don't want. But I want to help you, show you how to do that. But I really need a lot more information to be really able to underwrite this.
Shoot Nate an email at nate@natebarger.com.
You got that?
Nate@natebarger.com.
Yep. South Florida's hot, man. I'm coming down there too, brother. I'm moving to Fort Lauderdale next year. We're in Cincinnati. It's snowy up here, man. We've been getting pounded, man. It's the worst winter in a long time. But it hasn't been like sub-zero polar vortex. You guys, let us know where some of you guys are from too, man. We want to know where you guys are from. and what you guys are doing in real estate. So give me what other questions you got, man?
It stopped. They all stopped. We need more questions, guys. Please drop more questions.
It stopped. You hear that, man? You guys, let's see, man. I got some over here on Instagram.
Hey, it's TikTok.
Oh, yeah, TikTok.
Man, Nate is dropping tons of value for free, so take advantage of this time.
Okay, so do you rent all your single-family homes or rent to own? What about your property management? Look, we're vertically integrated. We have our own property management company, maintenance company, leasing company. We do it all in-house, and we did that out of necessity. If you think somebody else is going to go out and make you rich, you're probably wrong. You need to control the process. You need to know what's going on. You need to manage your leasing agents. Once you get big enough, you hire somebody to manage them. But even now, man, I got over 1,500 units. I got great partners. But I'm every day, I wouldn't tell you that it's passive. It's not, because I'm actively involved, because as soon as I get a property stabilized, guys, and bringing in that cash flow, I sell it off. And then I go take it and I buy more. So it's never ending. Now I could stop at any time and have enough passive income to retire. But the truth of the matter is that, man, I enjoy it. You know, what I didn't enjoy when I was struggling, it was hard for years and years and years, and you didn't have money, and, you know, you're up there, you're putting tar on roofs to try to keep them from leaking, and you're putting tar on chimneys because you can't find where the leak is. And that stuff is no fun, man. But, you know, once you make it, then it's more fun, and it's more about just giving back. So, yes, I did start my own property management company, did that out of necessity. I didn't feel like anybody else was going to deliver the results that I wanted. And one of my biggest struggles was, how do I pay for this person? I had to bring somebody in. They were $42,000 a year. I didn't have the money. So what I did, guys, I really took a chance. I sold a property that I had. I made 40 grand. I put that money aside into escrow in a savings account. I said, you know what, man? I'm going to fund their salary for the first year. And I hope this isn't a bad decision, because it was 40 grand. And I did, and guess what, man? It worked out. I was able to scale and grow and delegate and work on the things outside the company to grow it, because I had somebody working on the books, working on leasing, and that's what really helped. And then not only that, but I was giving them construction. Here's my budget. I need you to, you know, take care of how much, like almost a controller that was doing leasing and property management. At the time, it was actually my cousin. So, but that's how I was able to scale and grow that part of the business, guys. There's always a challenge to everything you do in life. But what I want you guys first off to think about is, what is the solution, number one? Is it a viable solution? And, you know, if you can come up with solutions to the problems, guys, then you're a step ahead of most people, because most people don't. They come up with reasons why they can't do things.
All right, we have lots of questions now. All right, I got 9 single-family houses, and 2 of them are paid for. What would you do next to get to 30 units by the end of the year? They are in Louisville, Kentucky.
So you guys hear this, man? Now, here's what I want to tell you guys. I'm telling him to get to 30 units by in 5 years, but see, he has 9 already. So once you get in your first one, you realize how easy it is. Just my buddy Jason just got his first one. He was like, hey, I'm going to have 3 the first year. So I'm telling you, this stuff sounds hard if you've never done one. But he says, I got 9. I'm going to do 30 by the end of the year. My guy. So what I would do, you down in Louisville, Kentucky, it's a lot of small community banks down there. Go to Stockyards. They're down there. They're out of there, actually. They may want single family or may not, but say, hey, look, here's the deal, man. Banks have what's called a portfolio lending, so they don't have to go through the government programs. Go to them and say, hey, do you have anything portfolio lending that you're doing on single family houses? And if they say no, you say, hey, well, listen, I need you to go talk to your bank president about it, because I got 9 houses right now. I'm going to scale to 30 by the end of the year. I'm vertically integrated. I'm my own general contractor. I know how to do that. And then by being your own GC, you can mark up everything on your books, and then it allows you to get the cash flow, keep coming out, but still create enough equity, because you know where the bank wants to be. The bank wants to be at 75%. That's a safe position for them. So if you leave 25% on the end, they won't come and mess with your developer fees, your construction management fees, your acquisition fees, all that stuff that you can roll kind of into the deal and put in there. They should be okay. It depends on the bank, but they should be okay with understanding that you are working and you're taking somebody else's job, or you just pay it and you funnel it through. I don't want to talk in circles there, but what I would do is go leverage the assets you have, put them all into one loan, get a good interest rate, lock it in, because debt is not going to stay this low forever. It's going to go up. So I want you to lock into a low long-term debt for 20, 30 years if you can, and keep that. Make sure that you got a way out, though, if you do want to sell those properties. And by doing that, you're going to have the money that you need to go grow. Also, tell them what you're doing and say, hey, what if I do a construction loan? Will you do construction loans with me? And if they will, that'll allow you to go buy the properties and they fund the construction side of it. So the first thing you need to do, identify the problem in your business, right? Which is number 1, inventory. Number 2, renters. Number 3, how do I renovate these? Number 4, how do I rent these? And number 5, how do I manage these? And if you can solve all 5 of those problems, then you can be a real estate millionaire in 5 years. And if you can't, reach out to us. We'll help you solve those problems, because those are easy. They're easy problems. How do I find properties? Well, not on MLS. You ain't going to find them right now. Go knock on doors. Go send out postcards. Go put little signs out. Go to go call the signs, the people that got the bird dogs. Get bird dogs out here working for you. I got bird dogs out here finding us hotels right now, guys. So we're finding lots of hotels all over the country. It's nothing different, man. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just you having the passion, the creativity to get it done. That's all that matters.
Hey guys, make sure you share this video and like it. That way we can get more people to see it in every algorithm out there. So
Val Rosso, how do you run the numbers on a deal to make sure a deal works? Well, you want to figure out what your actual numbers are going to cost. What kind of vacancy is the area running? What expenses do I got to pay? What kind of reserves do I got to set aside? In other words, if the roof's 10 years old and the roof costs $5,000, in 10 years, that roof's probably going to be $8,000. So I want to take $8,000, divide that by 120 months, and I want to start escrowing and putting that much money aside in that deal every month. Same with the house. Well, you want to have some money, at least $5,000 in each property that you're coming into and escrowing. What are my expenses? One of the biggest things that I hear from people is when I look at their house projections, they say, oh, I don't pay. I said, where's your gas and electric? Where's your landscaping? Oh, the tenant pays that. Okay, what about when it goes vacant? Guys, look, if you're running a 7% vacancy or a 5% vacancy, 365 days times 0.05 or 0.06, that's 21.9 days out of the year it's going to be vacant. So let's say it costs $300 or $200, and let's say your landscaping and everything is going to be $300 a month for your landscaping, your water, your trash, your gas, and your electric. $300, that's 21.9. That's $219 that you have to put. Divide that by 12 months. It's only $219 divided by 12. It's only $18 a month, but still add that in. I want you to have very accurate numbers. I want you to know everything. If you don't know, listen, man, I want you to be anal about your numbers. I want you to know how much a kilowatt hour is, okay? A kilowatt hour is 1,000 watts. A light bulb, 60 watts. You can get a 60 watt changed to a 7 watt bulb. That means that thing runs probably 11 or 12 cents per kilowatt hour. That's for every 1,000 watts. I want you to know what energy you're running. I want you to know your numbers, because when you grow and you start getting big investors and you want these guys to invest with you, and they're going to start asking you your numbers and you don't know them, man, you wasted time. You wasted time. Know your numbers. Kilowatt hours, CCF, cubic feet of gas, your water, however they're selling their water, cubic foot of water. How much is that? Average person takes 3.1 cubic feet of water per month. How many tenants are going to be in the building? Run your calculations. Know your calculations, guys.
All right. What is your thoughts on using home warranties on your rentals until you get big enough?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you got a 30-year-old furnace and you feel like, you know, the $800 or $900 homeowner warranty is worth the $80 a month or 70 or 80 a month, you know, then go for it. But me, I ain't paying it because if I need a new furnace, I can get a furnace put in for $1,000. So I can get a 93% furnace for $600-700. I can get a 80% furnace for $450, and I got guys that will install them by the hour for, you know, $200. So for me, I'm not buying that. But for you, you know, if you're concerned about it, and see if the seller will pay for it for you.
All right. How do you feel about investing in new construction single families?
I mean, it depends on the area. You know, are you talking about as a rental property? Because typically new construction is going to cost a lot more than buying existing inventory, and you're not going to get a lot more in rent. So if it cash flows, if it makes money, the only problem is that I would be leery about getting appreciation on those. I actually saw a lot of people that bought new properties and they went down in value because you had all this old inventory. So you got to be in a really tight market to push them values up. You got to be in like California. You got to be in, you know, you know, certain parts of Florida. You just got to be in areas of, you know, Austin, Texas, or San Antonio. Dallas and Dallas and Houston aren't booming like that. And I'm not saying them are bad areas, but you just got to know your areas and know your numbers and do your projections, guys, because again, you're going to make all your money off of appreciation. You know, buying real estate is like buying gold and waiting for it to go up in value. The only difference is gold doesn't give you cash flow. And so you're not able to pay the debt that you got down on gold. With properties, it gives you cash flow, it gives you principal reduction, and it goes up in value. So look, property's going up in value. Look, it's going up in value. Okay? Your rents are going up. Your costs are staying a little bit below what rents are increasing. So your net operating income, the net that you bring home, is going up, and you should be locking in your mortgage, which is actually going down because you're paying that off. So look, your money's going up, the amount you owe is going down. Who likes that? That's an alligator. Eat it right there. Okay. Next question.
Advice on choosing a good contractor.
Referrals. Check out his work. Show up at his job and check out his work. You know, figure out what his motivation is. For me, what I found the best results that work for me is finding guys that aren't big companies, but they can't wait 30 days either. Write a good contract, spell it out with them, know what's going to happen when they uncover something. And for me, guys, one of the key things to negotiating with my contractors, honestly, I had one in the other day, and I sat down at the table and I saved $7,000 on a job, a drywall job, because I went over the numbers. I said, come on, man, what are you charging me per board? Know your numbers. 32 a board. Why are you charging me 32 a board in labor? I can get it done for 22 a board. Come on, you want the job or not? You know, then he charged me the price for the tile was fair. The paint was too high. I said, look, man, we ain't going to do it. But sit down, know your numbers. Then when you run into a problem with them, make sure you're able to figure out a way to solve that. When he comes in and says, oh, well, I got to move this beam. It's going to be $1,000. You say, hey, look, man, that's only going to take you and a guy probably 4 hours to do. He says, yeah, probably 4 hours. I said, well, why are you charging me $1,000 for two? Well, yeah, you're right. So, number one, negotiate with them. Number two, understand that you can't deal with every contractor the same way. Some of them are going to be, you ever play chess? Some of them are going to be rooks. Some of them are going to be pawns. Some of them are going to be queens. Some of them are going to be kings. Know how to put the pieces on your board and play them right. But ultimately, it's writing good contracts, communication, checking their work, show up at one of their jobs, and see how happy people are with them. I like to build my own crew. So I go get my own guys, pay them by the hour, and then a lot of times I'll subcontract out certain things or just bring people in that I know are good. Like right now, I probably got 20 crews out working. Me, my partner, Mike, Matt, Steve, Robbie, Daniel. We got probably 20 guys out working a day. My nephew, Devontae's running them. I just brought another guy, Helgard, that's helping out. So that's hard. That's hard to do. But I got a background in construction. So that helped me out a little bit.
All right. How is the U.S. market in Canada different than the U.S.?
How is the market in Canada different?
Yes.
I really can't answer, man. I don't know. Other than I know it's more expensive and you can't cash flow as good. The U.S. market, I think, is better because for cash flow, and Canada, believe it or not, guys, is more expensive than the U.S. Things are crazy up there. I think it's
a lot
because,
more expensive.
Yeah, it's because what I read about it was that you had a lot of Asian people that were able to come in to Canada, and they didn't have the same restrictions as the United States. It's easier for them to get their money over. So, I think that U.S. is better, but I really don't know, man. I can't answer that. I wish I could.
All right. North Carolina, I just want to get started. I have $40K right now to invest. Where do I start, rentals or flipping?
You don't want to flip. I told you guys, man, if you flip, you're going to 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 flip. You're going to have a job, man. Listen, if you can get a property that's worth $160,000 that's appreciating 5% a year, that property is worth $204,000. If you were able to take that and put $28,000 down, in 5 years you're only going to owe $115,000 on that property. If you flip the property, you're going to take that 40 grand, put it down, you're going to make 25 grand off of it. It's going to take you 6 to 12 months to do. If you do it this way, you're able to recapitalize and get your money back out because you're probably all in on this property for $120. It appraised at $160. The bank's going to give you 80% out, which is $128. You're walking away with all your cash back to go do another deal. And you're going to shove that property to the side. That property is going to go up in value with principal reduction and with appreciation. That you're going to have $89,000 in 5 years on that property. Plus, you're going to have another $200 a month in cash flow for 60 months, which is $12,000. And you're going to repeat this cycle. That's all the BRRRR is. It's buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. So every step of the way, you're going to meet a different challenge. That's okay. The one challenge I don't want you to have, I don't want you to buy an old wood building from the 1800s with box gutters that has termites. I want you to make sure that you go back and watch my videos on YouTube. It's going to show you exactly what kind of buildings you want to buy because I don't want you to get hurt. You want to buy buildings that are at least from the 1950s and onward, and you want to make sure the electric is Romex. You want to make sure that the plumbing stacks aren't collapsed under the ground. You don't want big old rental properties either because big old rental properties mean big old headaches. Think about if you're maintaining a 3,000 square foot house versus a 1,500 square foot house. You're not going to get any more money in most of these areas for a big old house, but your maintenance costs and turnover costs are going to be double. Guys, you got any questions?
Yeah, I got plenty of questions over here.
Do we operate all the hotels that we buy? No, I do not. I have a company that I partner with. They got $1.8 billion worth of hotels. They are much better at that than I am. Me and my partner Mike on the hotel side, and we just linked up with my buddy Kenny down in Tampa. He's going to be joining us. We're looking to raise $50 million here. We're waiting for our PPM to come back. So no, man, I'm looking for Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt places, maybe some IHG. I'm not looking to do anything that I got to manage, man. I got enough. And plus, I want to give back to you guys this year, so I can't do that if I'm out managing everything.
Is being an architect an advantage in investing in real estate?
It can be, but let me tell you something about being an architect, and I'm just going to tell you this straightforward, right? It can definitely be an advantage, but the problem with architects is, and don't take this the wrong way, because I took architectural drafting and architectural drawing in high school, so that doesn't make me an architect, but you tend to overthink things. So you got to be able to make a decision, and you got to be able to live with it. Architects and engineers, my partner is actually an engineer, they tend to overthink things. So think about something, what the rationale is behind it, write them down. There's 3 or 4 or 5 things, make a decision and live with it and go forward. No, I am not converting the hotels to apartments. Heck no. I've done 3,500 apartments. I don't really care to do anymore. I want to do hotels. I want to buy $600-700 million worth of hotels this year. Now, my partners are always saying that, but it's too much work, man. I don't want to do all that. It's brain damage. It gives you brain damage. That's what my buddy Kenny Russian always says. I don't want no more brain damage. I got all that in my 30s, working so hard, man. Struggling, going bankrupt, beating my head up against the wall. I like easy deals, man. So, guys, if you do easy deals, let me show you something here, man. If you get into commercial, the reason I want you to do this, because when you get into commercial, let's say you go buy a 20-unit complex, 20 units, and let's say you can push the rent $150 a unit. Okay, that's 150 times 20. That's $3,000 a month times 12 months. Okay, that's $36,000 a year. You're only going to capture, let's say, 95% of that, 0.95. You're going to lose 5% of it to vacancy. Your expenses aren't going to go up. Your expenses were already covered. So you got $34,200 more, but you're going to sell this off. You're going to add this into your net operating income and divide that by 0.06. You're going to sell that off at 6% return. You just made $570,000, guys. This is why I want you to get into, look, man, 20 units. I pushed the rents $150 a unit. I made 570 grand. Let's say I had to put 10,000 in each unit to push the rents. I made a net $370,000, guys. That's all I've done over and over and over again. I got one I'm buying right now. I'm pushing the rents $900 a unit from $1,500 to $2,400 with the $25,000 renovation. So let's do the math, guys. $900 a month times 12. That's $10,800 times 0.95% occupancy. That's $10,260 divided by 0.06. I'm making $171,000 additional per unit. That's a 24-unit complex. That's $4.1 million. Let's say it cost me $400,000 to do that. That's $3.7 million profit, man. When you get into, I'm going to show you guys something else too, man. Y'all want to see something? Magic? Commercial property. So if you're buying a commercial property, and I go through these all the time, it's an old owner, it's got aluminum windows in it, beat up sign, it's got the 3.5 gallon toilets, and I got to pay the water because a lot of these lower income workforce housing, you got to pay the water on because the tenants aren't quite honestly responsible enough to pay the water. So if I can go in there and I can change out that 3.5 gallon toilet to a 1.6 gallon toilet, I'm effectively going to make over $1,500 doing that. Let me show you how. Your average water bill is $60 a month. So 60 times 12, that's $720 a year is what I'm going to pay for the water bill per unit. That's average 2-bedroom. That's water and sewage. 26% of that that's times 0.26. 26% of that is your toilet. Okay, 26% of your usage is your toilet. I just noticed because I've been doing energy outage for so long. So you're going to save that's $187.20 is what it costs you to operate that toilet. By changing from a 3.5 gallon to a 1.6, yeah, you could go lower. No, it's not going to clog your toilet up. The 1.6 gallon, you're actually looking for 1,000 MAP rating toilet. The old 3.5 gallon toilets were about a 350 to a 650 MAP rating. MAP rating means that's how many grams of poop they can flush. So would you rather be able to flush 1,000 grams or 650? So these ones are not only take less water, but they're stronger. So you got $187.20 is what it's going to cost you to operate the toilets in that 2-bedroom. You're going to save 55% by going from a 3.5 to 1.6. If you want to know the math on that, just take 1.6 divided by 3.5. You're going to come up with 55%. That means you're going to save $102.96 a year. When you're selling a commercial property, this 102.96 is going to go into your net operating income. So it looks like cash flow. $102.96, they're going to pay you a 6% return on that. So divided by 0.06, you're going to sell that toilet off for $1,700. Because you're not selling a toilet, you're selling cash flow. You sold $102.96 cash flow. Why would they pay you that, guys? I'm going to show you. Because they're going to borrow the $1,716 from the bank times 0.0, let's say 3.5%. they're paying $60 to the bank to borrow the $1,700. You gave them $102 in cash flow, $102.96. You gave them the cash flow, but you told them I want $1,700 for that cash flow. They went to the bank, borrowed the $1,700. The bank said give them $60. So they made $43 just by using the bank's money. That's why I don't want you to have dead money in the property. I want you to learn how to leverage your money and get it out and take your money and go and reinvest it. Matt, what time you gonna leave out, brother? I know. Okay. So, guys, anybody else questions, man? We got our BRRRR group. We got TikTok over here. We got Facebook. We're covering whatever you guys want, man. You want to know about apartment rentals? I have a lot of questions over here, too. Okay. Okay, so go ahead, Matt. What questions you got?
All right, so let's do a quicker response on some of these. All right, so can you wholesale your own deals?
Of course. I did an assignment with my partners 2 years ago. It was a 546-unit apartment complex that we put under contract. I think it was about $23.8 million, and we assigned the contract and we marked it up $1.36 million. That was an assignment of a contract. The same thing you do single-family homes, you just do it with a bigger number. Of course you can. It's a little hard to do, though. If you don't know how to do it, go check out Kenny Rushing, Rushing. He's out of Tampa, one of my partners, great guy, man. And he's flipped over $150 million worth of houses. He showed a lot of people how to become millionaires. That's Kenny Rushing. Put the link in there for him, Matt.
All right, will do.
What else you got, brother?
All right.
Come on, Facebook. I'm here to answer your questions. TikTok, what you got?
We have 2 4-unit buildings in central Pennsylvania and are looking to expand but don't know where to start.
Well, you bought 2 units, man. Go and refinance some things. Get low long-term debt. If there's any room to add value and push your rents in them, look and see if you can do that. You got to scrape together some cash, and then just go find your next deal. I don't know what you're struggling with, but I mean, is it you can't find deals? Is it you don't know how to renovate them? Is it you don't know how to rent them? You don't know how to manage them? You don't know how to refinance them? Let us know a little bit more, and we'll see how we can help you.
All right, so now we have, how can I get funding to my LLC to acquire more properties?
How many properties do you have? Are you looking for somebody to do a line of credit with you, or are you looking to take all your properties, bundle them together, and refinance them? Because either way, I got somebody for both of them.
Okay.
Tell them to respond to that, and I'll give them a little bit more.
Chad, go ahead and respond to that if you can. All right. This is someone from the Facebook group. I'm coming across a wall with 10 loan for Fannie Mae Max. What is the best way to leverage and get more loans from local credit union banks?
Congratulations, man. Guys, what he's talking about is Fannie and Freddie will only let you do 10 loans. So, man, congratulations, because you made it to the next step, brother. You know, man, so many of you guys are trying to get where he's at. And I remember them telling me I was maxed out at 10 deals. And I was like, what do you mean, man? I can't do no more loans. And it wasn't that you couldn't do any more loans. You just can't do conventional. So now you got to go non-conventional. The thing that you want to do, you're stepping up. You got 10 properties. You're getting to a point where now you're ready to do commercial. Take them 10 properties that are probably worth $100,000, $200,000 a piece. That's $1 million to $2 million. Bundle them all together. Go and do a commercial loan. Put them all in one LLC. Do a cash out refi. Pay Fannie and Freddie off. And then you can go back and do 10 more with Fannie and Freddie if you want. Or you can go to that bank that you just did the 10 with and say, hey, man, I need to work with you, man. I'm trying to bring my business over here. I'm trying to help you grow your bank. And I'm trying to help you grow your accounts. And I'm trying to borrow money from you. So what can you work out for me? I'm a good real estate investor. I was able to get 10 of these properties. I know how to manage them. Here's my tax returns. When you start talking to a commercial person, they know how to add stuff back into your here. In other words, let's say I had a property that I had to put a new roof on, right? And it's a single family house. You know, the single family guy's going to look at it like, oh my God, you had to put a new roof on it. You're like, yeah, I ain't got to do another one for 25 years. The commercial guy is going to add that money back into your income because he knows that doesn't have to happen again for the next 25 years. So it's going to show up on your income statement. So congratulations, man. Go do a blanket mortgage. Call around, ask your credit unions, tell them you're trying to help them grow. They should be able to get that done for you. Then you got options. You can either go do 10 more of them, or you can go to your credit union and say, hey, how can I expand?
All right. Do you carry a general contractor's license for that? I'm not sure what that means. But
Well, so when I built my own construction company, yeah, absolutely. I got my own insurance, and in the state of Ohio, you don't need a GC license. So depending on your state, you may not, but that's something you got to look at in each one of your states. I can actually go pull permits on anything in the area I'm in. We got our insurance down there. We're bonded, and we do all this just to do our own work in the city of Cincinnati. It just makes it easier to pull permits.
all right. What do you think about investing in mobile park homes?
Man, I had a guy named Investment Joy on today, and he could tell you better, man. He's amazing. He's a YouTube sensation, guys. He was evicted out of his house twice. So go follow him. Go check him out. He owns a mobile home park. Hey, listen, man, investing's investing. If I'm buying a business, if I'm running a business, if I'm, if I'm buying real estate, if I'm buying hotels, if I'm buying commercial property, it's all numbers. You know, they're really no different. I'm operating a business. I'm operating margins. I'm figuring out how to put the capital stack together, which is the bank side. I'm figuring out how to put the equity together, which is the investment side, which is the 20, 25% down. I mean, they're all kind of the same, man. It's just, how am I going to manage it? Who's going to manage it? How are we going to scale? Where are we going to get the financing? Be strategic. Get the owner to finance the deal for you. You know, the owner may say, guys, and I just had a guy up in Dayton, Ohio, had 30-something units, and he was going to finance them for us. He was so old school, and I said, hey, listen, man, we'll just pay cash for him. He said, no, I'll finance him. I want the money coming in. So he didn't want to take the tax hit all on 1 year. So don't think that anything is, just because it doesn't make logic in your head, it's not logical to him. He did not want to pay all the taxes on it in 1 year, so he wanted to spread it out so he could absorb the taxes.
All right. Recommendation on split for money guy only in the partnership is 50-50 or less.
I mean, it depends, man. When I first started doing deals, I didn't care if the investor wanted to take 90%. I just wanted to get deals done. So if it's your first deal, just go get your deal done. As you build your resume, you can demand and command more. But I would tell you, with me on my deals, I was lucky because I always did I paid a guy 11% and 2 points. 11 and 2. Paid him 2 points, 11%. He did come to me one time, guys, and he asked me, say, hey, man, got this money. My wife got $350,000, and she wants to do a deal. And let me tell you, we crushed it. We did that deal. We were in it for 408, and I think I put 30 grand in. He put the rest in. We did a 50-50 split on it, and I think he did. It was $1,250,000 we sold it for. So, you know, he won, we won, everybody won. You do more deals. But as I'm experienced now, I do, when I'm raising money for the hotels, we'll give 50% of the deal away to the person bringing the money. They can have half of it, we keep half. So if I'm going to buy a $15 million hotel right now, I'm getting in that bad boy for about $1 million down because it's a failed note. I'm taking over the note. So I only got to bring $1 million. Whoever brings that $1 million to the table for me, I'm going to get him half the deal. I'm going to keep half the deal. Me, my partners keep half. They get half because they're taking the risk right now. But the rewards are man, the rewards are big right now. So don't be afraid of what you're giving up, man. Be afraid of not what you're not doing. Just do deals, you know, especially if you haven't done them before and somebody's willing to take a chance on you.
All right. I am interested in doing a BRRRR. I do not know how to do comparables.
Go on Zillow. And I know people say, oh, Zillow sucks, this and that. But listen, go on Zillow, look at the area, look at the neighborhood you're in, and look and see what they're listing for. You could scroll down. You can see how many days on the market, if it's pending. You can see what they sold for. You can see what the finishes look like inside. Is it in the same school district? How many square feet is it? Is it bedrooms? All you're looking at is if I had something that was, it's like this here. If I had a comparable, what is this iPhone? I don't even know what it is. But if I had something that was comparable to this, the same type of iPhone, but it was a different color, and it had a cracked screen, and I say, okay, well, if it had a gas, I would just go in. Sorry, guys, I had a text come through. So I would just go in here and try to find something that was comparable and see what it sold for. It's not real hard to do comps. You just gotta go in there and spend time, be obsessed with it, and follow me. My link in bio. Go to YouTube. Learn how to do real estate. Learn how to be wealthy, not just for you, man, but for your kids, man. What's the next question, guys?
Well, real quick, we have a whole YouTube series on analyzing deals.
Can you guys hear Matt? We have a whole YouTube series on analyzing deals. We just started last month, guys. It's under Nate Barger. Go in there, like our video, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm going to show you guys how to be wealthy, man. Trust me. I didn't grow up rich, man. I actually went to prison twice when I was younger, selling drugs, being an idiot, didn't go to college. But still, God had grace on me, and I was able to come out and make a lot of money, man. And I just want to give it back to you guys because I don't want to see you struggle. I saw my dad struggle work 43 years on a railroad, man. He calls me yesterday, man. He says, you know, this car, me and my wife, when he retired, bought him a Lincoln Town car. That's what he wanted. And he said, you know, it's kind of, I said, well, Dad, how many miles that thing got? He said, 140, 150,000. I said, man, it's gone. It's done. Don't put no more money in that. I said, man, what? And he said, I said, look, man, we're going to buy you a Lexus, man. We're gonna get you a good car. So, you know, those are the things that you're able to do, man. And he wants the L model. He's talking about leg room in the back. I said, Dad, you ain't sitting in the back, but you drive all those little, I don't know, whatever. But that's what money's good for, man. You're able to help people out, able to sit here today. Well, I got people, I still got a manager, got 100 calls to make, I got 100 emails to answer. I'm doing this because I want to get back to you guys, man, because I don't want to see you struggle and make the same mistakes that I made. And so any questions you got, man, drop them below. The YouTube name, again, is my name, Nate Barger.
Check the link.
Check the link in the bio. Every night at 8 o'clock, man, we drop something for you guys. And this information I'm giving you just on this right here would cost you at least $50,000 to get, man. So don't think because I'm giving it out for free that it's not valuable. Take action, man. Take massive action, guys. And you, too, in 5 years can retire. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but it's not easy being poor either, man. So let's get out here and make it happen. I'm here to answer all your questions, guys.
All right. Can you put solar panels on your properties and monetize those assets for your own gain? Still charge renters the standard kilowatt rates?
Not in Ohio, you can't, man. We ain't got no sun. No. So you probably can, you know, but that's a great idea. I've never thought about that, you greedy person. That's a great idea. So how dare you make money? No, man. So I'm sure you can, man. There's and plus there's tax credits too that you can do. Just make sure that it's okay with your HOA. If you do have an HOA, your municipality, you pull out permits, because the worst thing you do, man, you put them up there and then they say, hey, you can't have them. But if you can, especially if you're in a real sunny state, it might make sense, man. Just run your numbers on it, especially, like I said, if you can get that tax credit back.
All right. I'm trying to finish my first home with a FHA. Let's say in 1 year I can't refinance to get money out. How do I get a second property?
Well, did you buy the property right? Did you buy it with equity already in it, or did you pay retail for it? Because you can't just buy a property and in a year create equity. You have to create equity through doing the BRRRR method, which is the BRRRR, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. In other words, I'm buying it for 80, I'm putting 40 in it, it reappraised at 160. That way I'm able to go to the bank and say I want 80% of 160 back, which is 130 or 128. And I only have 120 in it. I got all my original cash back. Now I can go do another deal, right? If you put all your cash in and then you can't get it back out, and that's why I tell you guys, you have to form your own construction company, because if you do that, then you mark your cost up and it don't look like you're in it for 120, Because if you show the bank you're only in it for 120, that's all they're going to want to give you back. Now, some banks will do no seasoning and they'll allow cash out refi. But it's a lot easier if you're not telling them that you're doing a cash out refi. You're saying, hey, I just want my, I got 160 in the property. It's worth 160. And they say, okay, we'll give you 80%, right? That's easier to do, man. So meet with your attorneys, read your loan documents, make sure that you can do that. But I'm telling you, all the big developers do it, man. They like charge millions of dollars in fees and they get it out. So make sure you guys do the same thing. Yeah, I know about real estate development. Gaving, 123. Man, I've been doing real estate my whole life. I've done hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. I've done everything. I've done office. I've done retail. I've done warehouse. I've done a lot of apartments, and I've done hotels, brother. So, yeah, anything you guys want to know, ask about it, man. And try to be as descriptive as possible so I can give you the best answer possible. Hey, London. Never mind. She can't answer me. Okay, so what other questions we got, Matt?
All right. Does buying turnkey make sense?
It depends. I mean, if you got a bunch of capital, you know, but buying turnkey, the problem with that is your money's going to be stuck in a deal and you can't go refinance and pull the cash back out. Now, if you're buying turnkey and the rents are low, I love those deals, man. In other words, it's 80%, 90% occupied, 95% occupied, but the rents are $150, $200 below market. Man, I love those deals. Those are the easiest deals to make money on. Because you push that rent $200, you just made $32,000 per unit. For every unit you push the rent $200 on. That's why I want you guys to do the single family. But ultimately, man, I'm going to grab you guys and show you how to do this multifamily and make millions of dollars on just one deal. But first, you got to get your foot in and you got to do this process that I share with you guys today. You got to go watch my YouTube videos at Nate Barger. It's going to show you step-by-step how to become a millionaire in 5 years. I don't care what your mom tells you, what your dad tells you. I don't care who tells you can't do it. That's a projection. They're projecting their fear and insecurity on you. And don't let them do that. But that's okay. Go and prove them wrong. That's what I want you to do.
All right. Just the topic of today's video was how to retire in 5 years with real estate. Just go ahead and we have some people that are just hopping in. Can you do a quick summary?
Guys, we've already explained this, but I'm going to explain it again. So look, guys, I'm telling you this because I've done this in my life. I actually started doing real estate in 2005, and I actually did it in like 3 years, but I was real aggressive. But when I was doing it, the values weren't climbing like they are now. You guys have a huge advantage on me. Rents are climbing, values are climbing. Back when I did it, everything was like, and then my property calls like, hey, Nate, yeah, hey, man, I need a roof. Man, I can't afford a roof. You worth the same as what I paid for you. Yeah, I know. I just still need a roof. See, now the rents are going up. The prices are going up. Now hey, Nate, I need a roof. Hey, no problem, man. What color shingles you want? That's it. Do it. Because the values are going up. So what you want to do, guys, a lot of people want to flip properties. Let's say you can get all in on a property for 120 grand. I'm just using that as an example. Let's say it's worth 160 when you're done, right? Let's say you can rent that property out for $1,200 a month. Or you can take and you can flip it, and after your fees, you're going to walk away with about $145,000, pay off your $120,000. You got $25,000 in cash, right? A lot of people would take that. Let's say you do 2 your first year, then 4 your second, then 6, then 8, then 10. That's 30 properties over 5 years. That's $750,000 that you're going to make. You're going to pay 30% short-term capital gains on that, maybe more. You're going to walk away with $525,000. Seems like a lot of money, but you have to go do another one to make the money again. Now, let's say you would have done what I told you to do. You form your own construction company. Looks like on paper you got 160 grand in there. You go to the bank, say, I want to do an 80% cash out refi. You're really only in it for 120. The bank says, okay, you got 128 out, 2,000 in fees. You're walking away with 126. You pay your 120 off. You got 6,000 to the good. Plus, you got your original money back to go do the deal with because you had to put money down to do the 120, right? So now you have enough money to go do another deal. You rented the property out for $1,200. You just gone about your business. That tenant continues to pay the $1,200. Next Next year, you move the rent up to $1,225, but your interest rate's fixed. Your taxes are pretty flat. You're making a little bit more money. You continue to raise your rents. You have also principal reduction. You're making $200 a month in positive cash flow off each house. Now, you're going to have 30 houses by the end of year 5. By that time, you're probably making $300 a month in positive cash flow off each one, which is $9,000 a month in passive income. You're not paying any taxes, and I'll get into that later. That's kind of complicated, but if you set your stuff up right, you're not going to pay any taxes. $9,000 a month. That's $108,000 a year, guys. Listen, man, I ain't telling you you're going to go get a yacht, but I'm telling you can live pretty good off of that. The property, the whole time, while you were sitting there collecting this cash flow, about $200 a month for 60 months, that's $12,000 a property times 30 property. That's $360,000. Plus you got $6,000 cash out times 30. That's $180,000 plus $360,000. That's $540,000. But that property with principal reduction, you don't owe 128 year 5. Assuming you got a 30-year mortgage with a 4% interest rate, you owe 115 on it. The property went up 5% a year, so it's not worth 160 anymore. It's worth 204. So you got 89,000. 89,000 equity times 30 properties, 2.6, 2.7 million. Plus you got another 500. You got $3.1 million, man. You're a millionaire. Matter of fact, you're a multimillionaire. You could retire. Life is good. Or you could go refinance, pull that out, which my buddy Jarius, he followed this process 5 years ago. November of 15, he started following the process. We interviewed him the other day. He's got $3.6 million worth of property. He owes $2 million on it. He's got $1.6 million in equity, but he bought in a great area. He's got $15,000 a month in positive cash flow, $35,000 a month in collectibles, and after everything's paid, he walks away with $15,000 a month. He's retired, guys. So you could do the same exact thing, and that's how you do it. And go watch my YouTube videos, and it shows you exactly how to do that over and over and over again.
All right, so Lyle is chiming in, the guy from Texas.
Uh-huh.
So he just said he's gotten one property since we spoke in Houston area. And
good job. Hey, Lyle, what's up, brother? How you doing?
He's working on his second property for this year already.
So Lyle, somebody I talked to, he was in San Antonio. We got some video.
Austin.
Oh, yeah, in Austin. Stupid hot market, man. Go check out that video. Proud of you, brother. Hey, and Austin, I want you to tell them, are you going to get to your 30 properties in 5 years? He's already went bought one. Look, he took massive action, guys. It's been 3 weeks.
He's already working on number 2.
He's already working on number 2. It's not that hard. Just get out here and do it. There's 81 million millennials, man. And I'm not talking bad about them, but a lot of them don't want to work in real estate. A lot of them just want to do tech stuff. So that means that there's 81 million millennials that don't want to work in real estate. There's 78 million baby boomers who are all saying, hey, man, I don't want to deal with this crap anymore. I'm selling. I'm going to go buy me a yacht, or I'm going to go buy me a kayak, whatever they like to do. So that means that there's plenty of opportunities for people that want to do real estate, and there is a shortage of people that can even do it. So good job on that, Lyle. I want to hear more about your deals, and I want to have you back on in a couple months after you close your second deal, because I want you to inspire people and show them that you can actually do it, man.
All right. Do you have a recommendation on a book, website, person for information on how to start up your own construction company?
Man, actually, I don't. I wish I did, but I just read the manuals and books, and I know numbers in my head. I know how many screws you're going to use per sheet of drywall. I know how much them cost. That way, when I'm sitting there, like my drywall guy told me the other day, it's going to be $15,000. I said, nah, man, no, it ain't. Let's go through the numbers. How much is a fire-rated sheet of drywall? Fire-rated sheet of drywall for a 12x4 is 48 square feet. It's $14. So you take 14 divided by 48. I needed 446 sheets. You time that. Just know your numbers. He's telling me it's going to be $15,000. I said, it's going to be $8,200. It was actually $7,800. So if I would have just said, okay, man, here's $15,000, he got me for $7,000, $8,000. Know your numbers, guys.
All right, Lyle's just saying he spoke with several local banks like you mentioned, and I'm impressed by the business they want to do.
So, Lyle, that's great. Again, guys, Lyle's somebody that we talked to. He's in our BRRR group. He couldn't get anything done. And Austin, because the Austin market is so hot. So we were like, hey, man, just reach out to the banks. Tell them what you want to do, just like I'm telling you guys. Call them. Tell them what you want to do, especially if you have any experience at all. You want to grow this portfolio, and I'm going to bring my accounts over to you, Mr. Bank. Now, you think about that. A bank makes its money by getting accounts. You're telling them, hey, I'm going to help you grow your company, and I'm going to borrow money from you. And I know that I'm going to put money in the bank, and people are putting money in it and not getting any return, and you're going to loan it back to me at 3.5% or 4%. I'm okay with that. They're okay with that too. And if you find a bank that doesn't want to work with you, that's okay, man. Keep on plugging away. Keep doing it until you find a bank that says yes. Hey, man, thank you, guys. I actually am writing a book right now over here on TikTok, man. So I want you guys to know, man, I've been to prison twice when I was younger. Got out in 97. I got out and I started selling a lot of weed. And, but in 2004, man, I just cried out to God. And that's how I really found real estate. But I didn't really understand the stuff that I'm teaching you guys today. So by 2010, I had 250 units, 2 commercial buildings, and I was bankrupt. I would have lost everything, but I just kept pushing. And through keep pushing and fighting for what, and then dealing with the banks. And even when I was losing everything, I called them, man, what can we do? I want to work this out. And then not just that, but communicating with my one of my main investors, going to him and saying, hey, look, man, I'm going bankrupt, man. And he's like, what? I said, no. Listen, man, your money's good. I got you protected. Remember, you got a mortgage note on my property, man. You're in good shape, and I'm not going to miss a payment. And I explained to him what happened. It wasn't my residential that killed me. I had big warehouses with single asset tenants. They quit paying because they 30, 60, 90-day net customers didn't pay them. So they couldn't pay me. So there was nothing I could do. And I had $19,000, $20,000 mortgages on them buildings. So I had to go back to the bank. Well, I had cross-collateralized a lot of my residential in with this stuff. And so then the bank came and started trying to take my residential. And, I had to fight one of the banks, man, but we ended up resolving it. And my investor who I sat down with, man, he gave me a couple $1 million, and I came out because I was a stand-up guy. I didn't come in. I didn't include him in the bankruptcy. I didn't do none of that, man. I was like, you ain't going to lose a single dime. I know you worked hard for your money. And he gave me even more money. And then I partnered up with my partner, Mike Ely, who has a great book, From Broke to Millions.com. It's a great book, though, man. It's got real deals in there that we've done. Our first deal we did that we made $1 million net profit on. Pictures of the book, pictures of the deals that we've done, too, all over Cincinnati. From Broke to Millions.com. So go in and get that book. But look, man, I'm just telling you guys this to tell you, man, 2013, I was bankrupt, man. By 2019, 2020, man, I had, a multi-million-dollar house, man, and a lot of cash flow and, just, man, a couple Bentleys, a Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, just, everything that you would think that would make you happy. But, that's not what really makes you happy. What really makes you happy is giving back to people, sharing your experience in life. So you can come back really quick. Within 2 years, I had enough money to retire, enough passive income. That's why I'm sharing my story with you guys, because I want you to know that you too can do the same thing. And I don't want you to feel discouraged. I want you to know that for every problem, there is a solution. And I want you to find that solution. So there's only about 5 things that you need to do to become a millionaire. You need to know how to scrape the data and find the properties, right? You need to know how to renovate the properties fast, quick, and in a hurry and create value. You have to know how to rent them and manage them. You have to know how to refinance them. And then you go repeat the process. If you can convert your construction company in there and push your numbers up to not even retail pricing, then you can get your money back out, and you just keep doing deal after deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. So, guys, that's why I'm sharing this with you. I want you guys to go out here and make massive wealth over the next 5 years. Some of you guys will do it. Some of you guys will be scared. Like Lyle just took massive action. Lyle's going to be a millionaire in 3 years because of his massive action, or sooner. It doesn't take that long, guys. You're at a good point in the market right now where if we do have a lot of home foreclosures, that's going to push people to rent, which is going to drive the price up. So I wouldn't be scared. I would just make sure you get good debt on them and make sure that you're not buying at maximum retail. Make sure you're doing a BRRRR method and creating value. So, guys, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, man. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you go and subscribe to my channels and, click the bell and follow me on TikTok. And, man, we'll notify you whenever we got some new content. Like the videos. If you're not in our BRRRR group, get in it. And, we'll do whatever we can to give you guys as much information you need to succeed, from fixing your credit to helping you with lenders, getting you discounts at some of the big box stores we're working on, finding you a good property management platform, and just in general answering questions. And also I got lenders too that I can turn you guys on to. So thank you guys again. Is there any more questions before we get out of here?
We got one more.
Okay.
Have a duplex under contract and it's a double lot. Would you build another duplex or shoot for something bigger?
How much are your rents? Because in order to build, it depends on your market. If you're getting $800 in rent, you can't build. If you're getting $2,000 in rent per side, you can build in most markets. It depends on how much it's going to cost you to build. In other words, guys, here's a perfect example. If I can go build a duplex for $300,000, right, and I can rent it out here, $300,000, I can go to the bank and I can borrow the money at, let's say, 4% times 0.04, okay? That's $12,000, right? So I get $12,000 is what I got to pay the bank. But, of course, they're going to want a down payment. I'm just using rough numbers. Now, if I can rent that out for $1,000 each side times two sides, that's $2,000 times 12. That's $24,000. And let's say 50% of my expenses are going to wipe out times 0.5. That means I only got $12,000 coming in to service the debt. It don't work. I'm going to lose money because I'm going to have vacancies. I'm going to have all kinds of. But let's say that I could get $1,600 aside times 2. That's $3,200 times 12. Times 12. That's $38,400 a year. Let's say I'm capturing 95% of that. That's $36,480. And let's say I'm using. I'm capturing 55% of that. That's $20,064 minus my 12 grand. So I can do that. I can make 8,000, but that's a lot of time. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of money. You got 300,000 in that. You had to put 60,000 down. You probably could have went and just bought 2 or 3 that were already up pretty close to running and BRRR'd them and been in better shape. Unless you're in an area where land is tight and there's not a lot of land around and everybody's building or knocking down houses and building, like in San Francisco or certain parts of Cincinnati even, I wouldn't do that. So I can't really answer without knowing a little bit more about it. But, guys, any more questions before I get out of here? Guys, man, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Man, you guys have an awesome day. We're going to, I guess, go out and play in the snow. And make sure that you guys go and check out my YouTube videos every night at 8 o'clock and on TikTok, on Instagram. And, man, God